Hi there, I'm Shane Spiers and welcome to another edition of the Summit Interviews, beaming out to you from the beautiful city of Bath in the UK. My guest today is Dawn Russell. Dawn, a very warm welcome. Great to have you on our little show.
Thank you very much, Shane. I'm looking forward to having a chat with you today.
Great. For those of you that don't know her, Dawn heads up the Hardware Group and shows business owners how to master their marketing, manage their manpower and maximise the money in their business. A number one best-selling author, creator of the ICU Mastermind program, the 10-step Heartwired Leader Model and Organisation program, and the Top-Down Inside-Out approach. Dawn is passionate about helping business owners expand and grow sustainably, speaking and writing about it regularly. Dawn is known for her insightful and probing style and her deeply held belief that every investment, whether it be self, staff, structures or systems, must produce a measurable return. And knowing that business growth and performance rarely follows a linear path, Dawn works with business owners on three simultaneous fronts, keeping them focused on their marketing, their manpower, and their money simultaneously. Dawn, the title of our interview today is Recruiting for the Right People, and we have 5 minutes for the interview. If you're ready, I'll start the clock. So let's kick off. What are the three biggest mistakes you see business owners making when recruiting?
The three biggest mistakes that I see business owners making are, first of all, a focus on skills rather than getting some kind of values alignment with people. Second one would be that they invariably ask the wrong sort of questions in an interview situation. Sometimes they don't even ask any questions in an interview. It's just a case of, yeah, well, he seemed like a good bloke. And that's very Australian, sorry to say good bloke, but it's often that. And the third thing will be that they fail to set some kind of competency test around the skills that they do want to see if the person can do the things that they need them to do.
Right. So if a business owner discovers they've hired the wrong person for the job, what's the real cost of that decision?
It is way more than people ever think it is. So in the human resources world, the figure that we normally ascribe to the loss of someone is 1.5 times their annual salary.
Wow.
So if you've got someone, let's just pick a figure, $50,000, pounds, whatever it might be, basically 1.5 times that is what you've lost when you lose a person. So you want to get this right from the outset. And that cost is calculated over a number of things. It's, the disruption to your business, it's writing ads, going through the interview process, weeding out the people that aren't working, then putting them with someone who's probably going to have to train them along the way. So there's a lot of extra effort that goes into getting rid of someone, not to mention, if you like, the cost to your reputation possibly, the impact that this has on morale if you're churning through people because you've got the wrong person, resentment from other staff. Loss of productivity, obviously. And, if they're the wrong person, often they make mistakes that can cost you a lot of money that's not even counted in that 1.5 times their annual salary.
Yeah.
So it's a big cost.
Yeah, big cost. And I've heard you talk about values-based recruiting. How do you advertise for values rather than skills?
Yeah, this is one that stumps people a lot because normally it's, we want this person to be able to drive this truck or, type at X many words per minute. So this is about getting clear on what's really important to you and telling it how it is in an advertisement. So probably the best way I can help you with this is to give you an example. So if one of your values in the company, the business, is that we like to challenge status quo, so we're a bit of a disruptive kind of organisation. We would say in an interview, we like to challenge the status quo. That means it's going to get uncomfortable sometimes in here. There's going to be some heated discussions and it's going to be quite confronting to work around here. What that will do is anybody for whom that is really difficult, they won't bother to apply. And for people who go, this is the kind of place I want to work, they will apply. That's got nothing to do with their skills. That's got to do with the environment that they want to work in. And if being a disruptor is a value that they hold strongly, it will resonate with them.
And it's hard to tell what a candidate's really like from their resume or CV. So what sort of questions should you ask in an interview to gain some insight to how they're going to behave once they're hired?
What we know is that past behaviour is the best indicator of future behaviour. So asking someone, and this is probably a typical question that people ask in an interview, what are your strengths? What do you consider your weaknesses to be? Honestly, that's not going to get you what you need to know. What we want to know is, how has this person behaved in the past? Because that's going to tell us how they're going to behave in the future. So we call them situational or behavioral questions. And that might sound a bit like, so tell me about a time when you were faced with an ethical dilemma.
Right.
What was the situation? And so it's never one question. There's always a series of questions. So what was the situation? So the person will describe the situation. And what did you do? And why was that an ethical dilemma for you? So now we're trying to understand where this person's ethics sit and what was the result. So we're trying to get inside their head, figure out what their beliefs are, figure out how they handled it, because that will tell us the best possible chance of how they're going to handle anything like that in future. Brilliant. And obviously, ethical behaviour is important to you. If it's one of your highest values, then you want to know that this person shares similar values to you. Yeah.
So they're going to be a fit in your company. Yeah,
absolutely. And nearly every question that we ask usually starts with, so tell me about a time when, or tell me about a situation,
right,
blah blah blah, because that makes people have to think back to a time that they've come across that. It's very hard for them to make it up, because the follow-on questions pick up on that. So you're following the thread the whole time. Okay, so you did that. What made you choose to do that? It was because of this, this, and this. So it's like a psychological sort of process, if you like.
Yeah. And just finally, how important is competency testing at the interview stage?
I would say it could be a matter of life or death. Let me tell you a story. One of my clients is a tree lopper. So, climbs up trees, chainsaw, ropes, abseiling equipment, the whole thing. And he put a guy on whose resume said that he was competent with the chainsaw. And the man started on the Friday. I spoke to my client on the Monday, had the new guy go. No, had to sack him already. So he hadn't even lasted a day. And I said, what went wrong? He said, I nearly took my leg off with the chainsaw. And I said to him, sure, sorry, I shouldn't swear on here, should I? What would have happened if it wasn't someone as experienced as you, for instance, who was standing next to him? You could have had a serious accident on your hands, workers' compensation claims, all sorts of payouts and things like that. So my question to my client was, what on earth made you not test for competency first? He said to me, well, I don't know, how would I do that? And I say, well, I said, in the interview, you would say, here's a chainsaw, go and stand 20 meters over there and start that chainsaw for me. Because you want to see if he knows how to start that safely.
Yeah.
And if you see already that he's got bad habits, then you don't employ him.
Yeah.
You can't wait for an accident to happen. So almost a matter of life or death. Yeah.
Wow. Well, folks, we've come to the end of our time. Thank you for that, Dawn. For more resources, check out Dawn's website, www.heartwaregroup.com.au. Thank you, Dawn.